Welcome back to ABC 10 News at 9. If you ever let it slip that you own a Mac or thinking about buying a Mac, you probably heard the infamous Macs don't get viruses. It turns out that rumor is wrong. Ryan Eldridge, co-founder of Nerds on Call, is here to explain how your Apple computers and gadgets are vulnerable to malware and what to do to stay safe. So I'm a Mac user, and of course, when I bought my Mac, that's the first thing I heard. Oh, Macs don't get viruses. That's not true.
I've used those words before. I'm also a Mac user, and I've used those words before. You know, I'm on my high mountaintop looking down on all those Windows users going, haha, I don't get viruses. Well, it's not really true anymore. There's three big major malware out right now for the Mac. One is called the Thunderstrike. And Thunderstrike, when it installs on your machine, it can kind of just take it over. This is something that isn't really a big vulnerability now because Apple's already patched it. But if your operating system isn't up to date, you are vulnerable to it. In August, at a conference, they came out with a Thunderstrike 2. White Hat hackers found Thunderstrike 2 vulnerabilities. And this one can be proliferate through email, through infected web pages, or just downloads. And this will also give full access to the virus, and it can do whatever it wants on your machine and start downloading its friends and family members to start attacking stuff. And then there's also a new one that just came out called Privilege 2. And one of the things on Macs, we all know we can't just install things at random without some kind of pop-up that's saying, hey, you're installing something, type in your password. Well, this new vulnerability called Privilege 2 removes the need to type in a password. So when you get infected with it, it just starts downloading stuff and all kinds of stuff. And this usually presents itself by your web pages start getting redirected. You start noticing intrusive banners or ads that are showing up on your screen, or pop-ups. And those are usually saying, okay, something's wrong here, we're infected. And those three are the major vulnerabilities. So one of the ways you can protect yourself is, one, keep your software up to date, not just your Mac operating system up to date, but just go to the App Store and install all of the updates. Things like Word gets infected, different other software pieces can get infected, so make sure you're up to date entirely. You can also run an antivirus on your machine, something like Avast. They make a version directly for Mac, and so you can put that on your machine. And also, just change your behavior. Because you think you're secure and you go, Macs never get viruses, you kind of click on stuff and you feel invulnerable. But don't click on things in emails. Don't click on links that are going to download stuff. And when you do install something, make sure that you click Custom Install rather than Full Install, so that way you can see what's coming. Another pro tip is keep your downloads folder empty. That way you'll notice if something shows up in there and you go, I don't remember that, you know you may have a problem.
So what do you do if you actually end up having a virus? Well, how do you get rid of it on your Mac now?
So this is a great program. Windows has had a program called Malwarebytes for years. And Malwarebytes this year just came out with a new version called Malwarebytes for Mac. And so you go to malwarebytes.com and download it. Install it and run it on your machine. It'll look for any kind of virus or malware that's on your machine and remove it. And it's absolutely free, and it works great. It's not a real-time protection. You can pay for real-time protection, so it'll scan all the time, or you can just scan whenever you want to.
And that'll help. That'll clean it all up for you.
That'll all clean it up. And then recently, this came out this week, is iPhones. So we all kind of think, oh, I got an iPhone. There's no way I'm going to get a virus. You know, I hear Android all the time. But iPhones are susceptible, especially if you have what's called a jailbroken iPhone. And so you use different software to break the firmware in the machine in order for you to download free apps or whatever. If you jailbreak it, you are susceptible to this virus called RAID lock or keylogger or something like that. And what it'll do is it'll steal your Apple account, download programs, access your passwords, all kinds of stuff. It'll even lock your phone and make it so that way they charge you a ransom in order to unlock it.
So we're talking about Macs from right now. Any big apps that we should be looking for?
Well, there's none in particular. Malware gets on your computer all the time if you're just cruising around the internet. So what you want to do is just make sure that if something comes up that says, hey, we want to install, that you know what it is. And otherwise, just use safe browsing practices.
And how about the app of the week?
Well, the app of the week is called Pocket. Pocket's a pretty cool one. So I travel a lot, and I read the internet all the time, and I'm watching videos. Pocket allows you to download articles from the internet, as well as videos. So if you've got a cool YouTube series that you're into and you're on an airplane and you can't obviously get it, you can download it on Pocket and access it anytime. This is free. It works for Android, iOS, is also the Windows operating system, and you can use it on a browser on your computer too.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Ryan Eldridge, co-founder of Nerds on Call. We'll see you again next week.